we have cheerfulness. Whenever you write, be cheerful, be happy, keep cool. While working, keep cool. While writing, just express your good feelings so that the listeners will be impressed by you. If you are writing with all the sorts of good feelings that you have in your mind, you will be successful. Nothing is difficult. As I said, we have already taken the first step. It is a big task of communication that we have undertaken. We have to make our communication very effective, impressive, attractive, magnetic. We have already taken our first step. Of course, it's a long journey, but remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. This is a Chinese proverb. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. We have started the journey of effective communication. We have to make our communication very, very effective, impressive, and magnetic. It's, of course, a big task, but we have to overcome all our difficulties and we have to face this. Again, I repeat, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. We have already taken the first step. As Dilett Freeman has said, a hill is not too hard to climb, taken one step at a time. A hill is not too hard to climb, taken one step at a time. One step is not too much to take, one try is not too much to make. A hill is not too hard to climb, taken one step at a time. One step is not too much to take, one try is not too much to make. One step, one try, one song, one smile. One step, one try, one song, one smile will soon stretch into a mile. And everything worthwhile was done by small step taken one by one. One step, one try, one song, one smile will soon stretch into a mile. And to reach the goal you have started for, take one step more, take one step more. And that step is the step of cheerfulness. Work with pleasure. Whatever task comes to us, just we should take the task and we should start loving the task. If it is communication, let us learn it by heart. Let us talk with everybody by showing our courtesy, by showing our politeness, and by showing our cheerfulness. If your writing is polite, if your writing is cheerful, I am sure you will be able to hit the target. So, when we discuss 8 C's, content, correctness, clearness, cheerfulness, courtesy, 2 things more that we have not to forget is, that is conciseness and completeness. The world is very fast and people are very busy in the modern time. Nobody has time to read your long letter. Nobody has time to listen to your long delivered conversation. So, when you speak or when you write, you should be precise. You should be short. If you ask me these questions, how short we should be, my reply would be, we should be as short as possible, but not unnecessarily short, because cut short will cut you short. We should write everything very precisely. Well compressed sentences will certainly help you. And when you write the things in brief, naturally your writing would be read, your conversation would be listened to, people will understand you and people will appreciate you because they have got you. So conciseness is necessary, but unnecessarily you should not be brief. To be brief is a difficult task. Brevity is the soul of wit. If you have all the information which you feel relevant, you can supply important information. If you have read many books, only then you can discuss about all the books in brief. So, knowledge is necessary for brevity. Regarding communication and business letters, we should be brief, but not unnecessarily. And that is why it is said that conciseness and completeness go hand in hand. We should be concise, we should be brief, but at the same time we should be complete also. A business letter must not be incomplete. If necessary information, details, ideas, thoughts are not expressed there, so naturally the person wouldn't be able to get anything out of it. So it should be complete. And then we have the character of the entire letter. Just as we have character in our life, letter also has its own character, and if it is a letter with character, it is appreciated. So in communication we have to consider these 8 things. We call them 8CC or 8 C's of CC. They are content, clearness, correctness, conciseness, completeness, courtesy, cheerfulness, and coherence. When you have studied all these qualities of writing, because earlier we discussed that during the process of communication we have encoder, we have decoder. The encoder encodes and the decoder decodes. Message is between the two, and to send the message to the listener, the channel or the medium is being chosen, the channel or the medium is being selected. Here, when the encoder encodes and the decoder decodes, these 8 qualities are certainly kept in mind, that the speaker has or the writer has expressed some content, he was correct, he was as short as possible, and he completed the entire thing very happily with all courtesy and politeness, very cheerful. If You have completed all these things very cheerfully and given such important qualities to your letter. Naturally, it has character. But all these 8 C's are not enough to make your letter, to make your communication very impressive. Let us not forget the appearance. Appearance of letter is very important, where you have heading, paper, or they call it stationery, folding, typing, envelope, margin. When you write the letter, you take up a piece of paper. The paper should be white in color and of good quality. Nowadays, of course, colored papers are also used. But if it is a colored paper, it should not be unnecessarily over dark. Of course, light colored paper can be used. If your paper looks beautiful, qualitative, the person who receives your letter, he will be pleased. When you draft the letter, if your letterhead of the letter pad is catchy, attractive, it will certainly please the readers. Your letter has to be attractive, your letter has to be catchy, it should be suggestive and meaningful also. Means by receiving your letter, the person should be able to understand whether the letter is coming from some college or from some office or from some shop. So the name of the office, the name of the college, the name of the shop, the name of the industrial setup should be suggestive. When we start writing, we give some space on the left side and we call it margin. Margin is necessary for giving a good look to your letter. If margin is there, it will be helpful at the time of filing the letter, and when you file the letter, important letters or figures or words written on the letter would not be destroyed at the time of punching. So when we punch the letter, we punch it from the left side, and that is why some margin is left, so that it can be helpful at the time of punching, it can be helpful at the time of putting some notes also. Then the next thing that we have is, we have folding and then we have envelope. A letter is being folded in a beautiful manner and then it is pushed into a cover so that your message would be safe. This is how we draft the letter and we communicate. But when you improve your communication, you first of all start speaking a few sentences every day. If you ask me these questions, are what to speak and how to improve it, I would suggest your daily routine. Take up some of the verbs, and some of the words. We have Words like get up, wash, get ready, go, walk, do, and start making sentences. When you have a word like get up, so make the sentence I get up, I get ready, I go to my office, I write letters, I draft letters. If you keep speaking like this, certainly a day in your life will come when you will find that you have started not only speaking, but you have started speaking effectively and you have started writing effectively. When you speak and you write, in the last, I must say one thing. You should not forget your listeners. They are very important. Talk what they love to be told. You should have the quality of you attitude. You attitude means talking from listener's viewpoint. Don't talk what you want to talk in communication, but talk what your listeners want to listen to you. Because the success of communication depends upon successful achievement. When you are selling your product, you have to think of your customers, you have to think of your buyers, and that is why it is said, sell John Luther what John Luther buys. Don't look at John Luther through your eyes. Means, if you want to sell your product, you have to consider your customer. You have to take your customer into consideration. So when you start writing or when you start talking,